up, you guys? I'm Chelsea Briggs, coming to you from the Billboard studio in Los Angeles, and I'm joined by Lady Youth.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going well.
First off, I really love your shirt.
Oh yeah, the Cher one. I've been rocking this a lot lately, actually.
Big Cher fan?
No, my vintage T-shirt fan. Yeah.
What's your favorite vintage T-shirt you have?
For this one.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay, so that's your go-to these
my
days.
go-to.
You're like, I gotta promote my new single, so I'm gonna wear the Cher shirt.
Do you believe? Exactly. It's actually like a shirt. It's like about her single, which is even funnier. Like I didn't realize it right away. I thought it was just Cher, but it's her single.
And it's also, you're like, I believe in my single.
Yeah.
I believe in myself.
Exactly.
Follow your dreams,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Speaking of your new single, Clap Your Hands, you just premiered it on Billboard today.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to have it out there?
I don't know, like it's always like kind of underwhelming. It's like all this build up, and then it just like I wake up on Thursday morning, and it's like, oh, it's happening. So I don't know. I haven't let it sink in yet.
Did you just have a normal morning, like have your coffee? What
I
did you
did.
do?
You know, like when you wake up and there's like 5 minutes where you're like you haven't connected with what you're doing with the day, and all of a sudden it occurred to me that like, oh shoot, Billboard's gonna be releasing my songs soon. So.
And the feedback? What text messages
I haven't
have you
looked.
been getting?
No, you never look.
Really?
Yeah, I never look.
You're not one to read the comments.
No.
Never. Okay, that's actually probably the best way to go about it,
Yeah.
right? Because just people can be cruel sometimes.
They can.
But I will say, I love your song. I think it's awesome.
Thanks.
And here at Billboard, we've been kind of listening to it on repeat. Talk to me about kind of how it came about.
It's just I'm always working on music. So literally at any point, I'm working on 10 different songs, and then at some point, someone stands up and says, "Yo, this should be the one," and then it just kind of happens. So yeah, it was just one of those.
So was someone else that kind of said something to you about it, or was it a feeling you had?
It was someone else, my manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that because I know this year has been a big year for you, where you kind of went from an independent label to a major, and obviously more people probably involved in the creative process. As an artist, how has that been for you? Maybe the best part and maybe the most challenging part.
So for me, there's like two sides of me. There's the artistic side and there's the business side, and they're always kind of like working against each other. And sometimes there's like just the perfect balance. And for me, like having a team of hardworking industry people behind me kind of like is the perfect balance of the two. So that's where I am. I'm just in that sweet spot right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it a weird transition for you to have it all? Has it been?
No, it's been fun. It's like it feels like what I've been working at for my whole life.
Yeah.
So it feels like this is what it should be doing.
That's
How it should feel.
That's great. Let's go back to working with Ava Max on this single. Talk to me about how it came together and sort of. I heard she had a bit of creative say in it as well, right?
She did.
Yeah.
So it's just like a back and forth process with anything, right? She's got an awesome voice and took minimal sort of back and forth on her part, whereas I spent probably too much time on mine. But yeah, pretty standard like songwriting process. I wish there was some crazy.
I know.
story.
Come on, give me a good story.
I can make something up. Hang on, give me a second.
Well, talk to me what else you're working on right now, because I know you're obviously busy, so you're working on a bunch of new music right now.
Yeah, I'm always doing remixes and shows. They take up so much time. I travel so much.
This has been a big year for you with festivals as
well.
well.
Yeah, it's been great. I literally I owe it to my team. My team's been awesome.
That's great. Yeah. Talk to me about, obviously you're kind of a festival pro these days, so what are like the three things, right? Would you say? Would you disagree?
I would disagree.
Can you ever be a festival pro?
Yeah, I think there's lots of festival pros. I wouldn't consider myself to be one, but.
How many have you done this year so far?
I don't know, like a half a dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
But for me, it's just like a normal show. It's like, trying to figure out, if I'm doing a DJ set, what to play, and how to interact sort of with the crowd. And I find myself often like not satisfied by DJing, so I'll want to sort of like, maybe I'll be singing to the crowd, or maybe I'll jump out into the crowd, or bring the crowd up on stage. So I've always kind of just like going after something that's I don't know, I'm just not satisfied fully.
Really?
Yeah. Story of my life.
Story of my life. A perfectionist.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a good artist.
Yeah,
maybe. Talk to me about kind of maybe the top three things that are essential. You've learned since doing these half a dozen festivals this year, you've learned that you have to have before going on. Maybe it's 3 items, 3 things you have to prepare for.
I don't know if I can. A drink,
Okay.
maybe.
Fair.
What else? I like to spend some time sort of going through songs and deciding sort of how I think the night's going to go, even though I'm usually wrong.
But that's the best part, right? You can never guess how it's going to go.
Sometimes some Ambien so I can sleep at night.
There you go.
And the laptop. And headphones.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you've also you kind of this year went a lot from playing just electronic festivals to crossover festivals with a lot of different kinds of acts. Has going into preparing your set been different for that? Because obviously it's different audience.
It's totally different. Like, I can't play the T-Pain remixes if I'm playing with T-Pain in the same festival. So, yeah, I think like every show sort of requires a different set of tools. And DJing is really unique for me because it's not like I played in bands for years, and it's the same in some ways, but it's completely different in other ways. So yeah, it requires a whole different sort of set of tools.
Definitely. Is it nerve-wracking kind of presenting your music to a new audience, or do you kind of get a thrill?
I get a thrill. Yeah. I'm pretty addicted to it.
You're like, I'm gonna make you love me by the end of this.
Yeah, I'm like a fiend. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of festivals, you're actually performing at the Billboard Hot 100 Festival coming up in a couple weeks. What are you most looking forward to?
T-Pain.
Yeah. You have to cut all his songs out, so we won't be hearing any T-Pain songs from you.
Fair enough. Yeah.
T-Pain, is he someone you would like to work with in the future?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, that's usually the answer I give when people say, "Who would you want to collab with?" I say T-Pain. So
right now you're like figuring out how you're going to go about getting this collab, getting that selfie.
Exactly.
Is that something that would you ask him to sort of collab? Like,
no, I'd be too shy.
You gotta do it.
No.
Look, I'm gonna challenge you right now. This is gonna happen.
Okay.
So listen, I'm gonna give you a pep talk.
Okay.
You, T-Pain, the Billboard Hot 100 Festival.
Okay.
You gotta go up to him,
okay.
tap him on the shoulder,
okay,
and say, "Listen, T-Pain."
Me,
we're working together.
Make my little fake vocoder sound. And,
there you go. And how are you preparing for this festival? Anything you said you might have people come up on stage.
No, I kind of just wing it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, like before I play, I'll sort of have some idea of how I want the night to go. But for the most part, just wing it.
Just wing it. I like that. Any pre-performance rituals that you do?
Drinking. I drink.
I love the theme of this interview. In fact, we had a drink before this.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Okay, so drinking. There's no like.
Drinking. Sometimes I call my mom. Usually that happens after the show. If it's going well. And yeah.
You call your mom right before or after?
It's different. It varies. If I'm nervous or something, if I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a weird show. Oh.
What was that? Excuse me. Surrey is trying to get it on the interview right now.
Yeah, I'll call my mom before or after the show. So if it's a really good show, I'll call her afterwards. And if it's a bad show, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna call my mom.
Is your mom your biggest fan?
I don't know if I would say fan. Yeah, obviously the biggest fan. But she's been pretty great. Both my parents have been awesome.
Well, I was going to ask you that because being from Ohio, the Midwest, Ohio doesn't have a huge dance scene, electronic scene that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
For you, so how did you kind of get into it?
I grew up playing in bands. So like I sang in a band for years, played drums in a band, and moved to LA, and that's kind of when I got into electronic music.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be in music, or what did you kind of want to be when you grew up?
I did, yeah.
No other aspirations as a child?
I'm not going to say what my other
why?
aspirations, because they're stupid. Let me think. When I was in 7th grade, I wanted to be a professional football player.
Okay. Did you play football at all growing up?
A little bit. It was horrible. I think I just wanted to
You're like, I'm a music kid.
Impress my dad. Yeah, exactly. And then I wanted to skateboard. I skated like half my life. And thought I was going to be a chef at one point.
Look at, these are great.
Are they?
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, that's
And can you actually cook?
No.
No? Okay. So that one died
Just,
really
yeah,
early
right.
on. Darn it. And you know, in the interview you did with Billboard, you talked about how you're always obviously looking for the next best song be inspired in a way that it's the next cool song, the next kind of trend that's going on. For you, where do you draw inspiration from, would you say?
Yeah, just trying to do something that's like sort of new to people, and something that's like underground, and something that people aren't expecting. And you know, like the coolest feeling is doing something that that no one's really heard or no one's expecting, and it does really well. And then, I don't know, it just feels cooler than sort of doing what's expected, I guess.
No, and where do you get that inspiration from? Where do you find, maybe, okay, here, let's be more specific. Where's like the most random place you've ever found yourself being inspired?
Jeez, I don't even have an answer for that. I don't know where my inspiration comes from. I think it's just, I don't know, I just get in the studio. I work all day and night, so like I'm always in the studio. So even if I'm not inspired, eventually something will happen. So I don't know, I guess you always hear about people saying they're inspired by this or that. I've just never
it's just
it just kind of happens. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And as far as what's next for you, you're gonna be releasing new music in the next couple months, sometime this year.
New music probably in a couple months.
Okay, cool. So we have stuff to look forward to.
Yes.
And then I was creeping on your Instagram. I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
And there was a picture of you at the Santa Monica Pier, and you won a lot of tickets.
Oh yeah,
really
that was
impressed.
crazy. Yeah.
So how did you win the tickets? First off,
I was walking out of the arcade and had like, I don't know, 2 tokens left, and I put them in this machine, pressed the button, and it was like I had won, and they just kept printing out, and I realized I had hit like the jackpot. It was like the
what was the game?
I don't even remember. It was like, you pressed a button and this ball dropped down. If it landed in this certain area, you won. That's fantastic. A ton of tickets. And then, so they kept going, and I was like, oh, I have to actually go. And they were still printing out. So these 2 little kids were running by, and they saw me, and they were all impressed. And I was like, hey, you guys can take the tickets. And
you
they were
made
like,
their life.
Yeah, I did. And what was weird was I felt so cool giving them the tickets. I kind of like stood back and like watched them, and I watched them like go like get a teddy bear or something with the tickets, and it was like my girlfriend was like, hey, I don't think their like parents are gonna be like happy with you just kind of like
creeping around like who's this guy standing in the shadows over there. That's great.
Yeah,
good job.
Yeah.
High five to you. So I'm gonna play a game with you. It's called First, Last, Worst, Best.
Let's do it.
I like your excitement. You're so excited. Okay, great.
Trying.
So what was the first concert you ever attended?
Pearl Jam.
Okay. When was the last time you were embarrassed?
2 seconds ago.
Why?
Because this is embarrassing for me.
You're killing it right now.
Yeah, okay.
You're doing great.
Okay.
Best interview ever.
Okay.
How about the worst outfit you've ever worn?
Cher shirt. I'm just kidding. I don't know, worst outfit.
Was there a trend that you've looked back on and you're like, why did I do that?
No, but for prom, I had picked out my tuxedo, and my girlfriend at the time or my prom date went and changed my tuxedo, like went to the place and changed the outfit.
It was like pink or something.
And then I went to go pick it up like a week later after they all sized it up. And it was like this like hideous white pants and like a black coat. And anyway, all the pictures I looked just miserable. I felt
You're like,
miserable.
That's funny. And lastly, what is the best show you've ever played and why?
Club Audio in San Francisco. And why? Because the crowd is just the best in San Francisco.
Just good vibes.
Yeah,
all around.
They're crazy.
Did you bring someone up?
I did.
Stage?
I did. I brought a bunch of people on stage. Yeah.
Did you crowd surf?
I didn't that show, but I have in San Francisco before.
Those are your people. You love it.
Yeah.
I've actually heard that San Francisco people are similar to Midwest people a bit. It's like a similar vibe.
Maybe. I just figure everyone's from the Midwest, and we all just kind of like go out, you know.
That's awesome. Well, Lei, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're excited about new music. If you guys haven't heard his new song yet, go on Billboard.com right now, clap your hands, and it will definitely make you clap your hands, right? Let's clap our hands out of this interview. We'll see you guys later. Bye.